to the team draw for BTE Season 2, and it's going to be fascinating to see who is where. Where could you be? Could you be driving for the prancing horse, or could you be driving for literally an energy can? Who knows? Or even a black Toblerone. You could be driving for any of them cars. We're here to let you know what you've got, and tonight I'm joined by Mr. BTE himself. Stimber, how are you?
Good evening, Connor. I'm pretty good, thank you.
It's going to be fun, isn't it? See where everyone's... Well, this is the first team draw live.
Well, it's always an exciting thing.
It definitely is.
It kind of sets up your new season. I know we're nearly, a week and a half away or something, but it's a bit of a Christmas present to everybody. You get to know your teams, you get to practice in your new cars. Ready for the 9th of January when we go again.
You definitely do, and that's the prime point as well. They actually get to practice in these cars, get used to the engine sounds and all that good stuff. So,
I see we've got 9 people watching and a few comments coming in already.
9 people already. Wow.
Evening Ninja, evening B17, and evening Wookie. And B17 says Soze for Red Bull.
These people clearly didn't want the Williams after I blackmailed them, did they? So, yeah.
Evening Mandy.
You just got to use a bit of friendly blackmail. That's all you got to do. But this is going to be. I love your My Team car, by the way.
I can't remember when I last drove it. It's just I'll put it there and then we'll work through really the teams in order.
Yeah, really, really nice. Evening, everyone. By the way, obviously, like Mark just said, Soze for Red Bull. Selected for him, but should we get underway anyway?
Yeah, why not? Which end are we starting at? Should we start Red Bull or are we going the other end with Williams?
We'll start with the Red Bull, shall we?
There we go. Let's get the Red Bull on the screen. Show people what car they will be driving.
Now, what a lineup this is, and I've just seen it for the first time, and oh my goodness, I can't believe the Will has done this to the poor fella. The first man from the A team in the Red Bull is Kaiser Soze.
Oh, I'm waiting for it to pop up. Kaiser Soze has left the server.
I can't believe the Will's done it. That's terrible. No, I'm joking. Before you do actually leave, the first driver is a very quick driver. I think he's been using line, but he's still a very quick driver nonetheless. Goes by the name of Captain Nibs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thomas, I believe his real name is.
Yeah, I believe he's currently not able to race because his missus made him put the setup away to put the Christmas tree up. She obviously doesn't know her priorities, does she?
No.
So,
but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is. And as for the prospect driver, he's a new driver. Well, newest driver to the league, making his debut Tuesday this week, and he's everyone's favourite South African man, other than Mark Dennison, because he reports him every time he steps foot on the track with him. It's Mr. Abadash. How are you? And welcome to the Red Bull team.
Yeah, I don't think he's too thrilled with that. He's just putting no. Well, he did really well when he was driving my Red Bull the other night. So maybe it's an omen.
You look like you had a bit of fun in it, so we'll increase that fun.
He had a brilliant race in it, to be fair.
Kaiser's not very happy with me. He put a full stop at the end of his comment.
Yeah, he's not happy with you. So let's move on to the Ferrari team. Guys who are driving this, I really hope you can do your own strategy, because if you trust the team, you are stuffed. You'll be on wets when you need softs.
Yeah.
So first driver is from the A team, newly promoted to the A team. It's of course our champion. It's Airways.
Yeah.
He was the Prospects champion for season 1. He will now join the Scuderia for Season 2. So, good luck with that one, Zach. And his teammate. He's deserted me. Probably because he's been demoted to prospects and we try and have one of each on each team.
Yeah.
It's, of course, our very own Fabian. Hear a voice.
That's one hell of a lineup, that one.
That could be a very,
be,
very strong
yeah.
lineup, to be fair, because Airways was up there competing with the Fast Boys last season anyway.
Do you know, I'm going to say early pick, that might be my Constructors Champions, you know. That is crazy. I know the reason he deserted you. Because Mercedes. And that brings me on to Mercedes, because the Lion King has gone to the dark side, quite literally.
Well,
How do you feel?
well, I was supposed to be there in another league, so maybe it's my season to do it.
Yeah, sorry, that's how I started with the prospect driver, but yeah, I know you're pretty fond of delivery at least, maybe not the actual team itself.
I do like the livery of this car, so
Yeah.
it's got to be done at some point. I want to do a season in every car, and I think I've really got this and Haas left to do.
Yeah.
But obviously the wheel's random, so that's what it's gimme.
And yeah, it is.
I think I'd have preferred the Haas personally, but hey ho.
Yeah, that's true. But your teammate is going to be very, very, very delighted with this, I think.
Well,
And he goes by the name of, well, he's also a Christmas song. It's B17. How are you? B17. So pretty good for this time of year. B17 is in the Mercedes.
I know
Another very strong lineup, by the way.
I know Carl's watching, so
Yeah.
from what I can see, I think he's the only person to actually keep his team.
Keita Soze is going to absolutely kill me. Not only have I tricked him into thinking he had a Red Bull, B17 also gets the car he wants.
Well, it is what it is. So moving on to the Frenchies, the blue and pink, the Alpine, of course. Now this is going to be a strong lineup as well, because I know the A-team guy is very, very fast.
Yeah.
He would possibly be my pick for the championship for next time. It's of course DRS Neil.
Yeah. Very
He
strong.
absolutely set this place alight last season when he could race with us. And his teammate completes an all South African lineup. It's of course Chelsea.
Very strong lineup.
I believe them
Chelsea
two are
also-
friends as well, so because it was through
Yeah.
Chelsea that Neil joined.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And I mean, Chelsea came a long way over the duration of last season as well. Like, he struggled a bit to start with, but then he started picking up some good points towards the end, didn't he? So,
Certainly did. I know he missed a
Yeah,
few
no.
races for biking and a holiday or whatever, but it is what it is. He did pretty well. Let's see if he
Yeah.
can do a bit better this time, because I believe Neil's going to help train him as well.
yeah, so that could be a force to be reckoned with over in the French Alps, that is for sure. But that takes us on to the Orange Army, and it's not the Orange Army you're all thinking of, because that one is not as strong as the McLaren one. So, we start off with a man that, well, I guess I kind of have to apologise to for making him think he had a Red Bull. It's Steve, aka Kaiser Soze.
I'm sure we'll take a McLaren.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy with the random generated wheel now, knowing that it didn't have all Red Bull on it. So,
Oh, and here we go. Avinash is currently writing his first report, probably against me. Or the wheel.
yeah, is it going to be the wheel, or well, it might be me for announcing it. I don't know. but Kaiser Soze's teammate in the McLaren is a man that is scared of ghosts, eats snails, likes frogs,
And doesn't want to
And-
drive an Alpine again.
doesn't want to drive an Alpine, and has an Eiffel Tower in his country. Yes, Ghost Rider. Another very, very strong lineup.
Certainly is. That was another one of the chosen lineups as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously we give our drivers the choice to choose a teammate. Some of them did, some of them didn't.
I was going to say, actually, I've just realised, I was going to say, because if B17 was Prospect, it would have, Kaiser would have probably picked B17, I don't know. But yeah.
That was what was going to happen, but obviously B17 wasn't getting demoted.
Yeah, true. Anyway.
So that brings us on to the Bottas team. It's the Alfa Romeos.
Yeah.
Or the nighttime barbershop, as we do like to call it.
Yeah, that as well.
Now, the A-team driver, another promoted driver, very, very fast, narrowly missed out on the title, although I believe he's got one elsewhere. It's, of course, Wookie. He will be in the Alfa Romeo this time. Chewbacca joins BTE.
Yeah,
His teammate is, of course, one of our admin team. Great guy, come a long way. Let's hope he can push a little bit further this season. It's Scottish Ninja. Grant will be an Alpha boy this time.
Yeah, he definitely will. That's again, if Scottish Ninja can just turn his almost one lap pace into race consistency with Wookie at the helm as well, that could be a huge lineup as well. So yeah.
We have got some very strong lineups here.
I'm looking at them now actually, like properly, and I actually now think there's not a weak lineup there, to be honest.
I think this next one could be quite strong as well.
Yeah, and that brings me on to the Lawrence to your Lance. It's Aston Martin.
Oh, Daddy's Cash team.
Yeah, Daddy's Cash team.
He's a lovely looking car, to be fair.
Yeah, who's going to be the first man to partner Lance Stroll in the in the Aston Martin? It's going to be the super defender himself, aka Super Striker. He is in the Aston, and he is, well, the lead driver as the A-team member, another driver who showed great pace last season, didn't he?
He's got very good pace. He's always right up there.
Yeah.
I think if he hadn't missed a few races he would have probably finished higher in the championship.
Yeah, he's one of them drivers you'd probably think can take it to Neil on a consistent basis if he turns up each week as well.
Hopefully. I think it's going to be a strong lineup anyway.
Yeah. And next up is the man who made hot dogs in 1981. It's Rob Dog. He is the other man in the green machine working with Daddy's Cash itself. I think I broke Mark with that one.
Yeah, that's my boss's Rob.
He'll know I'm joking, I hope.
Yeah,
but if he's watching,
he's probably had a few pints by now, to be fair.
Yeah, he'll find the funny side of it, I'm sure. That brings us to your team. Well, not your team, but the team you're announcing. The Hassholes.
The team I wanted but didn't get.
Yeah.
The Hassholes. First driver is in the A team. He's a new joiner to the league. Glad to have him though, because I know him from another league, and we know he's quite fast. It is, of course, Wazza.
Yeah, it is. What driver?
Warren Allen, I believe his real name is.
Yeah.
And in the prospect seat, well, this is where it gets weird because we have two drivers in the prospect seat. But they are affectionately known as the Banshee Conda. It's, of course, Gav, the Night Shadow, and yourself, Connor.
Wow, I've got a Haas. We're going to get spanked by Gunther whenever we have a bad result. And Gav's going to shout, surprise, surprise! But yeah.
Well, Gunther will be hoping you can make them look like rock stars.
Well, yeah, that's true. That as well. But me and Gav in the Haas. Wazza, be careful because you are no longer number one driver. I'm sorry to break it to you. But that brings us on to the pooing dog. The Alpha Tauri.
The pooping pooch. Although I must admit it doesn't look as much like a pooping pooch this tip.
No, it's got added red to it, so it looks... No, I can't go down.
That added red is awful, to be fair.
Yeah, it really is. It's so bad. But, I'll tell you what isn't awful, their driver lineup this season, because They've got the ever rapid, ever quick, ever mighty Belgian man himself, SW.
Ah,
And
Seppi's in a Tory.
yeah, Seppi is a Tory. No, I don't know why I said that. But next up, we have Kylie Minogue himself, or herself, or they spin him right round all the time. It's Squarey himself, aka Roundy. I'm so dead when he watches this.
Yeah, Zach's gonna kill you.
Yeah, he actually is. He's probably already in YouTube chat typing, but it is what it is. But again, another very, very strong. And to tell you something, it's absolutely amazing to see Zach in a full-time C.
Yeah, I know he said he'll probably miss a race or two, but we can live with that.
Yeah,
It's good to have him on board. He's a good driver and very quick on his day.
Yeah, he definitely is.
So that brings us on to the Duracell car, the Williams. Lots of classic history there. Mansell, Hill, Villeneuve. Who's going to channel their inner champion? In the A-Team seat, it's... Well, I know he may only be a temporary driver because I know he wants to see how he gets on first. Because he might struggle for practice. It's Dumbest Hornet.
Yeah, the best of the Hornets.
I mean, he needs to realise he's a lot quicker than what he gives himself credit for.
He's crazy. Like, on his day, he can compete with most people. And I know
Yeah,
that from...
he's very quick and he's very clean.
Yes, incredibly clean.
And in the prospect seat, it's a guy who's been with us since pretty much day one. One of our first joiners and big improvers as well from last season. It's Fast Track Dave.
Yeah. Another, like, again, if Dumbest Hornet performs as well as he normally does, well, as he can do, let's say, as his potential allows him to, and Fast Track Dave keeps improving at the rate he has, another team that, honestly, now I look at them all, I wouldn't like to call the Constructors Champion this season.
No, I think it's going to be quite tough to call this time round.
In fact, I wouldn't like to call any of the Drivers' Championships either. Maybe you could narrow it down to about 3 and possibly the A-Team. But as for the prospects, that's anyone's game.
That really is wide open. There's a lot of strong drivers in there.
Yeah, it really, really is, and it all depends if they perform to their best. But there is your Season 2 driver lineup for BTE. So make sure you get practicing in your cars, get used to the engine sound, get used to the colours that are surrounding you, and if you're in a Ferrari, make your own decisions. So,
definitely. Do not trust the team.
Yeah, that is for sure. Is there anything you'd like to add very quickly?
No, I think we've about covered it. I can't wait. Honestly, can't wait for the 9th of January to roll around now. So I can get going with my new teammate.
Yeah, I'm ready to get going as well. I don't know who will be racing the first race out of me and Gab, but I'm sure that will be discussed soon in due course. Wazza, we're relying on you as well heavily because there is a chance that we may miss a race or two if comms or life doesn't allow us to take part. But yeah, like you said, January 9th is the place to be. It's going to be exciting, that is for sure.
Certainly will.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I think we'll probably put on a fun race maybe towards the end of next week.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure we'll come up with something and just keep our guys going and just have a bit of fun, like a pre-season race.
Yeah, definitely. Keep your eyes peeled then for next week because I'm sure one of the admins will announce something or come up with something towards the end of next week. It will be announced in the Discord, so you will all see. I'm sure on behalf of both me and Mark and all of the admin team, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. Don't drink too much and don't turn up to the charity race drop. Well, you can, but don't be too dirty with it. But, no, in general, I think that sums it all up, really, doesn't it?
It does. I think we can pretty much call it a night and maybe go get started on them beers.
Yeah, well, I might have already started. But, yes, very good idea. So everyone, enjoy your Christmas. Have a great New Year. I'm sure we'll probably see you before the New Year for the charity race. And don't forget to be back with us January 9th, ready, ready to go for season 2. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.